So with Kodansha releasing an image of what we can assume is the main cast of characters in Hiro Mashima's brand new work, Eden Zero, many people in the community are already pissed over the similarities that are evident and parallels that are evident between the designs of characters alone in comparison to that of Fairy Tail, Hiro Mashima's previous work. You know what, man? Ooh, we can't even get one chapter into the story without people getting enraged over Hiro Mashima's newest work. It's crazy. Nevertheless, though, despite the fact that I do believe this outrage per se is uncalled for, these people aren't wrong about what they're saying. There are a ton of parallels between the characters, some of which I'm sure you yourself are yet to even catch on to. And in this video, I want to go ahead and talk about whether or not Eden Zero will essentially be Fairy Tail 2.0 and what I'm expecting from it, as well as going over the parallels that we can see within the cover art alone. Let's go ahead and start this off with the cover art and talk about the similarities between the characters in the cover art and characters in Fairy Tail. Now, there are two characters I have deemed to have fully original designs as far as I'm concerned. However, one I am absolutely certain that I've seen and just simply cannot put my finger on, which is the man next to the guy with the white hair, and the other one I'm saying is original, I could be wrong about because we have only seen the side of his face. With that out of the way though, let's address the two obvious characters which I'm not surprised have been ported over from Fairy Tail, that being Plu, who actually originally debuted in Rave Master and carried over to Fairy Tail and is now carrying over to Eden Zero, and Happy, Natsu's sidekick from Fairy Tail. I'm not surprised. As far as the rest of the cast goes, in one way or another, they are all either inspired or blatant copy and paste from Fairy Tail, and in one instance, even another series. Let's go and start with the guy at the top right, who draws striking resemblances to Keys from Tartarus, one of the main villains of that arc, and it seems as if Hiro Mashima may have copied another Tartarus demon's horns and pasted them onto this new character, that being Celia. Moving on down, we obviously have Urza, which everyone has mentioned. However, the cloak Urza is wearing is actually the same exact cloak that Leon wore in Fairy Tail. But nevertheless, moving on down, we have a blatant copy and paste of Sting from Fairy Tail with a hairstyle closely resembling that of Loxus's, which has actually caused people to question if it's a younger Loxus. But I assure you, the character design resembles Sting's and Sting's alone. Continuing on down the list, this one is actually quite minor and can easily be dismissed. And it's not a really big copy and paste kind of scenario like we've seen in the past and we'll see later on as I continue on down the list, but more of a redesign of clothing to an extent. This robot guy seems to be wearing a cloak and hat that resembles that of the King of Fiore's getup that he wore when he dressed up as the mascot Cabo during the Grand Magic Games arc. Moving along once again, we have a copy and paste of Evergreen with a different hairdo. To our left, we also have Jalal with white hair. Then we have the most obvious one, seemingly the main protagonist of the new story, which looks like a fusion of Natsu with Gray's hairstyle, so a Natsu and Gray fusion we got going on here. We then move on to what we can assume is the main female protagonist, which funnily enough seems to be a cross of Lucy and Juvia. It resembles Juvia's general appearance with accents of Lucy as far as things like her hair color and clothing are concerned. Up in the back, we have Edalus Wendy, or just an older version of Wendy. Nevertheless, obviously Wendy. And lastly, we have a blend between Gildarts and Rayleigh from One Piece. Some people commented saying that he resembles Hades. However, I do personally believe that he closer resembles Rayleigh with the cloak and general appearance, just minus the beard, of course. And then he has Gildart's metal arm. This one may be a stretch, but in my opinion, at the end of the day, it's Rayleigh and Gildarts. So with all this in mind, you're likely just gonna go ahead and stop the argument right here, stop the video right here, and just say, yeah, okay, Eden Zero, Fairy Tail 2.0. I mean, the characters practically all resemble characters from Fairy Tail. However, the thing is, we don't know anything about the story, and the story is what matters in this case. I feel as if it's way too soon to say that this is Fairy Tail 2.0. The designs may lead us to believe that this is Fairy Tail 2.0, however, I don't want to be hasty with my judgment. Okay, just listen. To think that Hiro Mashima would go to the extent of copying and pasting Fairy Tail in its entirety, the whole entire kind of story idea behind it, that's just another kind of fucking stupid. Like, that is really stupid. He even said himself that he wants to make a story outside of the world of Fairy Tail, and this is that story. This is a story that he wanted to make outside the realm of Fairy Tail. I think he even said he wanted to go outside of the genre of fantasy. We are not seeing Fairy Tail 2.0. I feel as if it's too early, bar none, to say whether or not this series will be Fairy Tail 2.0, and even though it's too early, I'm 99% sure that this will be an entirely different story, straying far away from Fairy Tail, and honestly, I believe that Hiro Mashima actually designed these characters the way he did to introduce a form of familiarity to those who are coming over from Fairy Tail. With that being said, what do you guys think? Will Fairy Tail 2.0 be seen within Eden Zero, or will Eden Zero be a story that strays far away from what we saw within Fairy Tail, even despite the fact that we've seen the characters are almost all copy and paste from Fairy Tail? Like this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new. Peace.